So we built this website. It's been up for a number of years. Just kind of a little bit of a plug. It was actually rated the #4 top college planning site on the internet. We work with a lot of high school students. They create the content for us. So one of the reasons that I mentioned I'm really impressed by you guys is you guys can write articles for us and send them in and put them up. And we have success stories of kids who have gone on to journalism schools and other types of schools, and writing for our site has helped them out. So just a little bit of a plug there for you. But the content that we have up here is based on what high school kids are putting up. And what we're seeing is more and more, is what Pat mentioned, articles about cyberbullying. But the other thing that we really have in the site, as I mentioned, we're college planning, but we have a good focus on college planning, is we're finding out about the mechanisms of trying to apply for college. How many people here are seniors? And just keep your hands up. How many people are juniors? Okay, so a lot of juniors and seniors. And how about for the rest of you? Do you guys plan on going to college?
We're not in high school.
Huh?
We're not in high school.
You're not in high school?
No, we're in 8th grade.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Do you plan on going to college?
Yeah.
All right, so great. You're good. You're covered. You're covered. And you are leaders, by the way. I know we had that question before. With answers you gave. So all of you are looking to go to college. That's why you go to a good school like this. And believe me, this is a great school. This has a great reputation, as well as the other schools that I know you guys are coming from as well. I saw the list of schools. So you all come from very good schools. Now, so let's put that aside for a second. Let me ask you another question. How many people here use Facebook? Show of hands. Just about everybody. What do you use Facebook for? Anyone? Yes?
To be updated with a lot of news or whatever.
Okay, updated with information about
like TV shows.
Okay. Friends, popular culture, pictures. Yes?
To contact family or friends.
Okay, contact family and friends. Okay, what else? Yes?
I don't really use Facebook that much, but I do use it for, like, if I'm absent and I need homework, or if I'm like a lab, Facebook.
Right. My son does the same. But yes?
I guess to be socially involved and active, because, I mean, obviously you can be sociable without the use of Facebook, but I feel like we've all just become so accustomed to it. It seems like without it, how could we possibly know what's going on in our teenage world?
Right, right. And I know there's groups, like if you're on an athletic team, they have maybe a little section there where everybody gets, right?
Also, like, Facebook is international, so like you can speak to a lot of people out of the country, or if you have like an pen pal or something.
Right. Right. Okay, so those are the reasons you use Facebook. Let me ask you something. Pat mentioned this before. Colleges, and I'm going to go into this a little bit more, colleges are actually using Facebook to not only recruit students, but to actually judge students. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. There was actually a survey that was done. 4 out of 5 of the college admission officers who were surveyed said they use Facebook for either recruiting or for evaluating students. Now, the question I have for you, I know you use Facebook to communicate and be social and everything else like that. Think about, what does Facebook show you to be? If someone went to your Facebook and they didn't know you, do you think they would have a good, after they saw your Facebook page, that they would come away thinking of who you really are? In other words, are you presenting yourself the way that you really are, and the person that you want to be presented as on Facebook? And no one has to answer that. Sure, go ahead.
Me on Facebook, like, I feel like if somebody was to look at me, they would see like a regular young teenage girl. I don't have any like discreet things on there, like, because I know I have family, so I wouldn't put myself out there. I'm not raised like that either, to be doing things outrageously, and I try to keep myself like, and like, I don't go in there too much, or like, I don't spread my business or anything. I just go in there to just see what's new and just see what's up.
I think that's very good. Now, let me ask you something. About 2 years ago, 2 to 3 years ago, when Facebook first came out, were people thinking like that? Or were people just like putting up whatever, let's have fun on Facebook?
I think people still are like that.
Still like that?
On Facebook, but there's some things that I see and I'm just like, why would this person put this up? But, you know, everybody's different. Everybody comes from different backgrounds. Our race different.
Right. It's very, very true. The thing Pat mentioned before, we used to work for a very large company, and they used to tell us, don't send an email, and don't put anything in the email that might show up on the cover of the Wall Street Journal. I think one of the problems for the downfall of the company was because people did do that. The thing that I would tell you, there's a rule that I think you should keep in the back of your mind. Don't put anything up that shows poor judgment, okay, on Facebook. And I kind of call it the grandmother rule. Don't put anything up there that if your grandmother saw it, how many people love their grandmother? Everyone loves their grandmother, right? I mean, we all love them. Think about it. If you would put something up there and your grandmother saw your Facebook, what would they think of it? Now, I'm not saying you can't have fun with it, but what I'm saying to you is as you get closer and closer to college, your Facebook page may become something that could benefit you or could cause you problems. We've heard of stories, Pat and I have heard of stories of people, and it's not the first thing that they judge you on. But let's say you guys have great grades, great GPA, great SAT score, and you're going for one of those, you're competing with someone else for that final spot at Columbia, or that final spot at Yale, or whatever school, Stony Brook, whatever type of thing. It comes down to you and someone else. Your grades are the same, your SAT is the same, they start going down the list. Believe me, one of the things they're going to look at when they look closely, when they compare people, is your Facebook page. 4 out of 5 college admission counselors said that they will look at the Facebook page. We've heard of stories where people have had offers rescinded from colleges after they've gone up and have seen postings and pictures of kids drinking or other things on Facebook.
Just look it up.
Look it up.
And a lot of them, sorry, Joe,
Go ahead.
a lot of them will request that you give them your
Yes.
password.
Yes.
Thank you, do.
There are, right.
Yeah, companies will as well.
Yeah, you need to understand this. Colleges can ask you for your Facebook password. Now, I know it sounds strange, and you may say, I'm not going to give it to you. That may impact the decision. I'm not saying every school is doing this, but we're seeing more and more colleges doing this. The other thing that Pat mentions is for employment. Employees are asking for your Facebook password as well, to see that.
Employers.
Right.
Employers.
What's it?
Employers.
Employers, what did I say? Employees, employers. Very good, thank you.
But and there's only 6 states in the country that don't allow them to ask it. So most states allow them to ask for your password.
Right.
The state allows it.
What was it? Oh, sure.
You don't have to give it.
You don't have to give it to them.
They don't have to give you a job. They don't have to give you a
Right.
admission to your college.
Now, I'm not saying this happens all the time, but there are situations where this does happen. Think about it. If you're going into a competitive situation for a job or for a college spot, they might ask for these types of things. Yes?
If you don't have a Facebook, they won't ask you, right?
You may just say, I don't have a Facebook page.
What if they don't believe you?
They may look it up. They may look it up. They may look it up. What we're finding is that there are people now who aren't having Facebook pages. Right. Well, maybe when you get into high school.
I don't want one.
It's
I
not
had
a good
one,
idea.
but then after 2 days, I deleted
Right.
it. It was crazy.
Right. Now, the other thing that we found over the last few years is senior year for high school students, one of the most active things that they do is what?
Correct.
Deactivate.
Yep.
Deactivate it. Or create a fake persona. Change their name. Right. I will tell you that colleges recognize that, and they're starting to learn how to do that. Now, that being said, the bottom line here is, I'm not saying that these guys are looking at it like big brother. The bottom line here is that Facebook and other social media can really be used to a lot of beneficial purposes. I'm going to talk about something. But also, you could be putting yourself in a bad position by what you put up on Facebook and other social media sites. So don't put anything up there that shows poor judgment or doesn't fit that grandmother rule, or conveys to the school or the employer that's looking at you a person that you're really not.
The problem with most of it is that even myself, I tried deactivating my Facebook like
Right.
around junior year, middle of the year kind of, and it becomes difficult to function. So it's like, you're like, oh, whatever, it's a website, you know, I don't have to be on it, you take it off. It's not even like you have a dependency on it, because I'm not dependent on my
Right.
Facebook, but it's become so that the world itself is dependent on Facebook. So you have a lot of work-related things that you have to do through Facebook. You have to like this or share that in order to be a part of another bigger picture.
Right.
So
Right.
it-
All these things are sticky.
Yeah.
They're sticking to you. Yeah.
Now everything starts with Facebook, ends with Facebook, and you just have to be on Facebook.
And there are stories out there that basically you can never delete what you put up on Facebook. And the reality is we had done a presentation at NYU recently. We had a person who was very well versed in cybersecurity, and his whole thing was anything you put on the internet exists forever. Okay, you think it gets deleted, you think it doesn't, it stays out there forever. We've seen this from police departments can come and look at information. They get it from your IP, from your internet provider. They can go and see these things. I'm not doing this to freak you out or anything else, just to come back to the point, what you do on these social media sites just show proper judgment and good judgment. Now let me talk a little bit about how you can use these sites beneficially for going to colleges, okay? Has anyone used Facebook, maybe seniors and juniors? Have you used tools like Facebook or Twitter or anything else to help you with the college process? Yes?
A lot of letters that they'll send me on Facebook, like that page,
Okay.
or press this link, they can see some type of survey.
Right, and the reality is colleges are using Facebook, and it's very, very helpful to you. Anyone else? Somebody else? Yes?
Oh, yeah, well, I'm not a senior or junior, but I've been getting letters, and so they're gonna add them on Facebook so that I can keep up to date with the events that are
Yeah, and that's how they find out. Now here's the good news about using Facebook. If you're planning on going to college, the schools do a lot on Facebook. So if you're considering a school or evaluating a school, follow them on Facebook and also follow them on Twitter. How many people use Twitter? Okay, only a couple of people. I'm telling you, Twitter is a great way to get information, and you can actually connect directly to these schools. Every school has a Twitter account, and in fact, every school also, their departments have Twitter accounts. So if you're looking at the theater department at Dartmouth, they probably have a Twitter account, and they will send you information about what goes on there. Okay, so you can, and you can get links and everything else. We've had people looking to go to college who've kind of built their own website, so to speak, of the schools that they're looking at. And they have their Facebook accounts and their Twitter accounts and even their Pinterest accounts. Does anyone use Pinterest? Okay. Pinterest is a great site. You can actually create your own Pinterest.
Yeah, and like pin things to your...
Exactly. And you can pin the schools that you're interested in. So you could actually compare them and see pictures, and they link to websites showing you the different schools that you're taking a look at. So you can put the 5 schools that you're looking at onto a Pinterest board and use that as a resource tool for you. Same thing with Facebook. Use Facebook as a way to get all of this information